The Republican Party is in lockstep with Donald Trump every step of the way. They give this public, they put up this public facade as though they're concerned with the decorum of Donald Trump. But they have voted consistently with Donald Trump. The Republicans in Congress and in the Senate, they have voted consistently with Donald Trump every step of the way. So they enjoy his policies. Furthermore, Republicans believe some of the same things Donald Trump is saying. How can we expect them to condemn him when these are the quiet parts finally being said out loud? It makes no sense to expect them to condemn the things that they really believe. Case in point, take a listen to Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House underneath Bill Clinton. Listen to what he says in response to Donald Trump's comment.
I understand the sentiment the president was expressing, and I have some of the same feeling, frankly. I mean, if she dislikes America this much, why is she here? And
so there you have it. He believes that if you don't like America either, you can get out of this country. And he protects and defends Donald Trump. Newt Gingrich has been an intricate part of the Republican Party since the 90s. This is the Republican Party. Take a listen to Mitt Romney as he tries to wiggle his way out of the question.
Would you go as far as to say racist comments?
That's all I got. Thanks.
Okay.
All right,
so that's Newt Gingrich. That's Mitt Romney, who won't say whether or not he believes that this is racist. Now, Mitt Romney, I think, came back the next day to essentially condemn these comments. But whether or not these comments from Donald Trump were expressly racist, he still has not answered that question. Steve Scalise, the Republican Party whip in the House. This is what he had to say. He said Republicans had disagreements with President Obama, but they never disrespected the office of the presidency. Come on. Really? The same Obama that I don't even have to go into that, but I want to stay focused on the fact that this is the Republican Party. The quiet parts finally being said out loud. This is what they believe. This is their style of politics. And the only thing that they would rather to have more than Donald Trump is someone who could keep the facade and the decorum present, showing the world the face of civility while underneath it being rabidly racist, xenophobic, homophobic, being exactly what they have been since time immemorial. So there's no dividing Donald Trump. Now, one last thing before I move on. Donald Trump has a 94% approval rating amongst all Republicans across the country. So it's not just the Republican Party, it's their voting constituency as well. I left off the clip of Lindsey Graham. Look at how Lindsey Graham tripled down. Like he not only accepted what the president said, but he doubled down, tripled down on it. Take a listen.
We all know that AOC and this crowd are a bunch of communists. They hate Israel. They hate our own country. They're calling the guards along our border, the Border Patrol agents, concentration camp guards. They accuse people who support Israel of doing it for the Benjamins. They're anti-Semitic. They're anti-America. Don't get down. Aim higher. We don't need to know anything about them personally. Talk about their policy.
I'm sorry. This is the party, yes. But this is the party being allowed to be as openly bigoted and racist and hateful as they possibly have ever dreamed. They're free to do it because there's nobody more of a racist than Donald Trump. He provides cover, political cover. You have to understand, there is no political penalty inside of the Republican Party for what is being done and what is being said. Quite the opposite. There is a political benefit for buying into this hyper-partisan driven, bigoted rage, right? It literally is a hyper-partisan driven for the purposes of hyper-partisanship, ultimately led to the rise of Donald Trump. And the rise of Donald Trump is nothing more than the rise of bigoted hatred across this country. The renaissance, rather, because it was always here, but this is the renaissance of this bigoted white supremacist society. And so here we are. I mean, here we are literally in the place where we have to decide whether or not we're going to do something about it or just go along with it. Nancy Pelosi. I mean, sure, the Senate is not going to convict Donald Trump Sure, it's going to be able to be played as a political victory for Donald Trump because he was impeached and then he was acquitted. Okay, yes, but you don't lay down your one constitutional tool that you have at your disposal to hold the president of the United States accountable. Don't lay that down because on the other side of it is political inconvenience. Whether or not we follow the Constitution and use the tools that the Constitution gives us isn't predicated on us on political expediency. It's not. It's a requirement. And I don't think, actually, I know Nancy Pelosi is not fulfilling her requirements to the oath of office that she took, because this is a dereliction of duty. This is gross political malpractice and incompetence to not even begin impeachment hearings, an impeachment inquiry. And yet the president of the United States is free to gallivant across the globe, making a fortune on the presidency while maintaining his power grip on the Republican Party through his open embrace of white supremacy. And no one is going to hold him accountable. No one. We're just going to tweet about it.